Momo, the nurse, the hospital, was old, half abandoned in some wings, but still running at night with a skeleton crew. The fluorescent lights above buzzed and flickered as Emily, a young nurse, pushed her supply cart down the hallway. Her footsteps echoed unnaturally loud. At the far end of the corridor, she froze. A figure, a tall, thin nurse with long black hair covering her face, was standing still, half in shadow. Emily blinked, and the figure was gone. She laughed nervously, trying to shake it off, but something inside her stomach twisted with unease. In the break room, she overheard two other nurses whispering. She walks these halls every night. Tall, pale, thin, with a face like a mask. She's not one of us. Emily chuckled. Is this a prank for new staff? The other nurse leaned close and whispered with fear in her eyes. No prank. Patients call her the night nurse. She comes at 3 a.m. Don't answer if she calls your name. Later, when Emily checked on one of her patients, the man's voice trembled. Don't let her touch me. Don't let her near me. Who? Emily asked. The man raised a shaking finger toward the doorway. The doorway was empty, but Emily heard a faint creak as though someone had just stepped back into the hall. On her way back, the overhead lights flickered one by one as she walked beneath them. A sudden sound echoed, a wheelchair rolling out of a dark patient room on its own, stopping in front of her. Cut to black. The next night, Emily tried to convince herself it was nerves. She stayed busy, checking charts, but unease clung to her. At 2:55 a.m., her pager buzzed with a code blue. She rushed down the hall, only to find nothing. The room was empty. The machines were unplugged. Then behind her, the sound of heels clicking on the floor. Slow, deliberate. Emily turned. There she was, a nurse's uniform, filthy and stained, hanging loosely on a tall, impossibly thin figure. Her head tilted unnaturally to the side, strands of black hair dangling in front of her face. Her hands, long, bone-thin fingers clutched a rusty syringe. Emily stumbled back. Who's there? She demanded, her voice shaking. The figure snapped her head up and Emily saw her face. It wasn't a face. It was stretched, pale skin pulled tight, with wide bulging eyes and a mouth frozen in a smile too wide, too wrong. The lights above shattered one by one as the figure began to move toward her, first walking, then jerking in unnatural spasms, the syringe glinting under the broken light. Emily ran into a stairwell, slamming the door behind her. But when she looked down the staircase, Momo was already there, looking up at her, her neck twisting at an impossible angle. Emily screamed and fled. Emily hid in the supply closet, holding her breath. The sound of wheels rolling echoed outside the door, slow and deliberate. Then knock, knock, knock. A voice whispered through the crack in the door. Emily, open up. It's time for your medicine. Emily pressed her back to the shelves, tears streaming down her face. She didn't answer. The whisper came again, this time closer, right at her ear, as if spoken from inside the closet. Don't make me come in. Emily screamed and burst out of the closet, running blindly through the halls. Every hallway she turned down, Momo was already there, standing, waiting, watching. Patients screamed in their beds as the figure glided past. Machines flatlined one after another. The hospital itself felt like it was rotting, lights flickering, paint peeling. Emily finally reached the exit doors. She slammed against them, but they wouldn't open. Behind her, the clicking of heels drew closer. MOMO's reflection appeared in the glass towering behind Emily. Syringe raised. Emily turned to scream. Cut to black. The final shot. A security camera feed, grainy black and white, showing the hallway. Emily is gone. Only Momo remains, standing still, her head slowly turning to face the camera. And then the feed cuts out. They say hospitals are places of healing. But if you find yourself walking those halls at 3 a.m. and you hear the night nurse calling your name, don't answer, because she's not there to save you.